For many of us, it's easier to ask the questions like, and answer these questions like, well, how do I start showing up for myself? When should I start doing that? And you can say today, tomorrow, next week, next month. I bet you can easily answer those questions. But do you know what question is more difficult to answer? Why do I care that I lose 30 pounds? Why is it important for me to know how to show up for myself? I hear some girls saying, I want to lose weight because there's a wedding in a month that I'm attending and I want to look good. That's the only reason? I don't think so. I don't buy it. I believe that deep inside of you is a yearning to look good, is a yearning to feel good and be good, not just for that 3-hour event. Because do you know what can happen if you don't know the real and deeper reasons why you want to be healthier and why you want to lose weight? Self-doubt. Self-doubt takes control over you. What if what you've tried differs from what's right for you? Or maybe it wasn't the right time for you. Or maybe you were not as committed as you are right now. I have to ask you, if you keep life the way it is, would you be okay with that? And if you want a different result, then it's time for you to make different choices. You have to do something you never did. Excessive doubt can lead to anxieties, low self-esteem, and missed opportunities. How to overcome self-doubt? You have the power to silence that inner critic in you, telling you not to do it. You can silence that voice. How? Start with what? Clarifying your why. Why am I doing this again? Why do I want to lose weight again? And you need to be honest. Honest. For the real reason why. Hey, lifestyle changers! It's Dr. Edelita, yet again for my weekly Sunday live. Welcome to my Sunday drive, everyone. Let's see how many people are going to show up today, show up for themselves. And speaking about showing up, we often hear about showing up for others. Like whether it's for our family, our friends, our colleagues, our kids. But how often do we talk about showing up for ourselves? Not nearly enough, I'd say. So let's dive into it. Today, we're going to talk about a very important topic, showing up for yourself, and the number one cause of failure to show up for yourself. What can you do about that? How's it sound? Ready? All right. So showing up for yourself means taking care of your needs, taking care of your needs. Take note. Setting your boundaries and making the time to bring you joy and fulfillment. So you is a key word here. It's about being your own best friend and advocate. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life, putting everyone else's needs first before your own. I think as human beings, we're so good at that. But remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. If you keep putting others first before your own, sooner, not later, you're going to dry up. So you need to take care of yourself first so you can be there for others. And when I say show up for yourself, it's synonymous to saying stand up for yourself. For many of us, it's easier to ask the questions like, and answer these questions like, well, how do I start showing up for myself? How do I do that? When should I start doing that? And you can say today, tomorrow, next week, next month. I bet you can easily answer those questions. But do you know what question is more difficult to answer? It's the question that starts with why. Why do I want to show up for myself? Why must I stand up for myself. Why do I care to be healthy? Why does it bother me that I am not doing what I said I must do to take care of my physical and mental health? Why do I care that I lose 30 pounds? Why is it important for me to know how to show up for myself? So, a question that starts with why is much more difficult to answer. But I think we should start there. Because if I let you look at my panel of patients, you'll be surprised to see that 99% of them are changing their eating and lifestyle habits with very little to no support from their family. Their spouses are not on board. Their children are worried, yelling at them, "You're not getting enough protein." Although they don't really care to know that it's just a myth. And then their circle of friends are critical and they feel isolated. They're on their own. So it's not uncommon for successful lifestyle changers to be on their own. And I mean, I'm coaching them, but ultimately they decide what they want to do, right? And they're choosing to do the right thing, even though their loved ones do not agree to it. That takes a lot of courage, don't you think? What's interesting as a coach and their doctor, every time I ask them, why are you choosing to stand up for yourself, even if you have a very little support from your family and still taking care of them? Why are you doing that? Well, their answer is so straightforward. One answered, well, I want to be there when my kids have grown and have children of their own. And one of my patients answered, I need to change me before I can change them or at least influence them. My spouse, my kids, got to start from me. Then I have this 38-year-old husband who gave up his job to start his own company. And I asked him the same question, why are you doing this? And he said, well, I need to get my diabetes and high blood pressure under control, because if these two things are not controlled or going out of control, well, guess what, Dr. Hamis? Guess what's going out next? I said, what? And he replied, my business is going out next. And who's going to support my family? That happens. So their reasons why they're doing what they're doing is clear. And the successful lifestyle changers are crushing it because they are so sure about their why. What about you? What about you? Maybe you cannot decide to show up or step up or stand up for yourself because you have not clarified your why, your reason. And clarity, my friends, is power. When you have power, you're in control. Are you getting this? I want to show up here every Sunday because my why is so clear to me. It's the last thing in my mind when I go to bed, and it's the first thing in my mind when I wake up. That's how clear it is. Now, what's yours? I hear some girls saying, I want to lose weight because there's a wedding in a month that I'm attending and I want to look good in my gown. That's their only reason? I don't think so. I don't buy it. Sorry, but I don't buy it. Seriously? You're willing to starve yourself for months, spend money for slimming tea, coffee, whatever, and then sweat out in the gym for weeks? Just for what? Just for the 3-hour wedding ceremony that you're attending? I don't buy it. I believe that deep inside of you is a yearning to look good, is a yearning to feel good and be good. Not just for that 3-hour event. Tell me if I'm wrong. At some point, I had that experience too. But I think that we should start by having honest conversation with ourselves and then have the decency to admit to ourselves that we've just been lying, making excuses for a long time now. Start there. Because do you know what can happen if you don't know the real and deeper reasons why you want to be healthier and why you want to lose weight? You know what happens? Do you know how messy it can get if you're not honest with your intentions? I'll tell you. Self-doubt. Self-doubt takes control over you. Self-doubt is a universal human experience. It's that persistent shadow that looms over your head, I mean in your head. It's like having another person inside of you, a critic that always questions your abilities, your decisions, your worthiness. And do you know when doubt gets so noisy in our head? It's when we face uncertainty or challenges. Unfortunately, our mind operates this way. If you are thinking of doing something out of the ordinary, something new, your mind uses doubt to keep you safe. Safe by urging you to not spend time, not spend energy, not do anything. Don't do that, it's dangerous. Oh, don't do that, it's risky. Don't do that, you're going to give up all the things that make you happy now. Although those things that make you happy now are the very things that are going to take you to misery in the future. So that's doubt telling you. I got an inquiry call, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. This is a 60-year-old gentleman, and he said, I'm calling you, Dr. Hammis, because I want to know how exactly do you work with patients? I mean, I've been following you for a while now, and I like everything you said in your website. I agree with what you stand for. It's unconventional, but I think it's true. So he called to ask what I do, how I do work with patients. So I told him what the setup is like, and how I uniquely help patients. And he kept nodding in agreement with everything I said. And then he said, you know what? I have tried things before but failed. I tried many diets and programs before. Ketogenic diet made me lose some weight, and my bad cholesterol went up, and I'm still on insulin and still feel tired all the time. I tried intermittent fasting, but I could not sustain it. Every single one of those programs promised me the same thing. Now, I don't know how your program will lead me to a destination I want to go with my health. So, when he was done, I know instantly that I smelled something. I smelled what? I smelled doubt. So this is what I replied to him. Sir, do you have a child? When your child has tried to walk 3 times and failed, do you want her to believe that she can never walk? What if what you've tried differs from what's right for you? Or maybe it wasn't the right time for you. Or maybe you were not as committed as you are right now. Because it sounds like you are very much committed. I have to ask you, if you keep life the way it is, would you be okay with that? I guess not. That's why you called me. That's why you're listening to me. You want something different. Different than what you have right now. Different from what you're feeling right now. Everything in your life, in your health, is a reflection of a choice you have made. And if you want a different result, then it's time for you to make different choices. And to get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. It's just that simple. You don't want to keep looking at your rearview mirror, regretting what you have not done, would you? Doubt is a defense mechanism that oftentimes, yes, keep us safe from making stupid and reckless decisions and actions. However, if in excess, it can hinder progress, hinder your goal to better health. Excessive doubt can lead to anxieties, low self esteem, and missed opportunities. It can make us hesitant to pursue our goals and dreams. It builds fear. Now, there will be times when, yes, you know deeply your why you're doing what you want to do, but still doubt visits you. There can be those times too. What do? I have 3 tips for you. 3. How to overcome self doubt. 1. Recognize self doubt. How? Easy. Self doubt manifests as negative self talk and or irrational beliefs. Things that doesn't make sense in your logical mind. Pay attention to these thoughts and these feelings, because when you recognize them, you're able to recognize self-doubt. And when you recognize self-doubt, you can be in control. Number 2, set realistic goals. I'm a firm believer that no dream is impossible if you know how to set small, realistic goals in order to reach that dream. So you break down your goals into smaller, achievable steps. Smaller, achievable steps. Start there, because success in these smaller steps can gradually erode self-doubt. Number 3, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is something you can do without spending a dime. Mindfulness is that ability to be able to put yourself in the present, being present in the moment, and make it a habit to practice mindfulness meditation. And I would recommend spending at least 15 minutes a day total. I don't care if you break it down into 5 throughout the day, but a total minimum of 15 minutes per day of mindfulness meditation. Studies suggest that focusing on the present can have a positive impact on your health and well-being. And mindfulness-based treatments, these are free. But you've got to do it. You've got to make yourself do it. It's a skill that anybody can get. It has been shown to reduce hypertension, anxiety, depression, improve blood pressure, improve blood sugar, and even sleep. You don't have to then cling to medications. Mindfulness meditation is a medication itself and helps erode doubt. Now, those are the 3. Recognize self-doubt, set realistic goals, and practice mindfulness every day. Remember, self-doubt is a part of human experience. We all have that. But it doesn't have to define your journey. You have the power to silence that inner critic in you, telling you not to do it. You can silence that voice. How? Start with what? Clarifying your why. Why am I doing this again? Why do I want to lose weight again? And you need to be honest. Honest. For the real reason why. And the reason has to be long term, not short term. Because if you want to lose weight and you want to feel better, it demands something that you have got to do regardless whether you have support from family and friends. Because ultimately, it's you who can master you. So if you have mastered controlling your you, controlling your actions and behaviors because you know you have clarified your why, guess what? You are more powerful than medicine, my friends, because nothing can then stop you from trying, aspiring, and achieving whatever it is that you want for your health. Do you get the point? I hope you do. Hope you have a nice weekend, everyone. Bye. I'll see you next week.